you ever had a meeting and you are trying to speak in English, you want to say something, but you'd freeze? Or maybe you had a conversation and you were trying to say something and you just couldn't say anything, you were just frozen. Why? Well, it's not because you don't know the words, it's because your brain is in what we call a bottleneck. It's kind of like traffic. There's too much traffic. And the reason is because you're translating. You're translating. Hello, everybody. My name's Mitch, Mitchy Sam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a place where you can learn lots of English tips to help you speak English more confidently, more professionally, in business, in relationships. I'm here to help you. Mitch's mi친영어코칭. Welcome back. And so if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do it now. And don't forget to keep coming back for more and more videos where I upload new videos each week to help you speak English confidently. Okay, so today, as you can see from what I just said, we're going to talk about translating, because this is something that, we all do when you're learning a new language, right? When I first started speaking Korean, same thing. I was always translating. Usually students in the beginning until usually upper intermediate level, I notice that they are translating when they're speaking, okay? It's just natural, okay? Don't feel bad, but it is kind of the last big step that you need to get over. We call it the last obstacle, the last hurdle, something you need to climb over if you want to get to the next level. If you want to get to advanced level, to speaking English naturally, fluently, confidently, then we have to stop translating. We have to stop translating, okay? It's not easy, but there are some ways that you can do it. And today, in this video, I'm going to teach you 3 things that will help you. Okay, there's more, but these 3 things I think will help you a lot. Okay, so let me explain some things that will help you stop translating. First of all, number 1, visual anchoring. What does that mean? Well, that means visualizing in your mind, see the word instead of thinking of the Korean word for that. So if you can try to practice, you have to practice this. It doesn't happen quickly. But if you practice when you're speaking, try to visualize in your head the words that you want to say. Okay? So for example, this is a very simple example, not a very good one because this is too easy, but the word apple, let's say the word apple, instead of trying to think of the word apple, instead of thinking of sagwa in Korean, just picture the apple in your mind. Okay, that's a very simple, easy example. Obviously, that's too easy. But for other words, let's say you're preparing for a meeting or you're preparing for a presentation. Okay, don't memorize the script. Okay, don't memorize the script in English or Korean. Don't translate. What you should do, rather than translating, rather than memorizing, you should try to visualize the points that you want to say. Okay, what are the main points? And then put a visual image to that point. And that will help you a lot in as far as memory, first of all, remembering what you're going to say, but also saying it quickly and clearly without translating, without having to translate. Okay, that's step 1. Number 2, step 2 here, chunking. Chunking, we say chunk means grouping, putting words together in a group, okay, in your mind. When you're learning phrases, when you're learning vocabulary, I often teach in my online course. If you go to my website, you can see each video lesson I give you has vocabulary. But in the vocabulary, I often put phrases and chunks of words together that we use. Because in English, a lot of phrases we use that they're words in a group, but we always use them together. Often in that structure. So those kind of phrases we should memorize and learn as one, not individually. Okay, so for example, like in terms of, or as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned. Those are 5 words that go together in a phrase. Okay, so when you learn vocabulary, a good thing to do is chunk them together. Try to learn a lot of words that go together. Okay, sets. Phrasal verbs, phrasal sets. Another good thing I usually teach my students is to learn the different grammar parts of a word. Learn the noun, learn the verb, learn the adjective, learn the adverb of all of that one vocabulary word. So instead of just memorizing one word, you're learning 4 in one. Okay, and that will help you not to have to translate much as well. Okay, and step 3 then is self-narrating. Okay, now I know this one's going to sound crazy, but it is good for you to practice in your head or out loud too, but try in your head to narrate as you're doing the dishes, as you're cleaning your house, as you're driving to work. Just narrate what's happening. What are you doing in English, right? It will train your brain to speak English while you're alone. And then when you're speaking English, your brain will be starting to think in English, okay? Because that's the problem, really, is your brain is still thinking only in Korean, okay? Normal, natural. Your first language is Korean. But what we want to try to do is train our brains to speak or think, rather, in English, okay? Sometimes, not all the time, obviously, but to be able to do both is what we call being truly bilingual, right? You can think in Korean, you can think in English, you can dream in English, you can dream in Korean. When you get to that level, you won't have to struggle with translating all the time, okay? So one way to speed up that process is to narrate in your head in English throughout the day. Just make it a practice, 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day when you're driving to work. Just start, thinking in English, okay? It's a good way to do it. If you're on the subway, if you're on the bus, you got time. Stop looking at your cell phone. Stop watching me. Yeah, just practice in your head and in English, and that will help train your brain to be able to think in English and speak without translating. Okay, so those 3 things there will help you to begin the process of not translating. Now, as I said, it's a process. So this is just the beginning. It does take a long time. Okay, this is something that will take practice. It will take a long time. But as I said, with these steps that I just talked about, it'll speed it up. It'll go faster. The process will take less time, and you can very soon, I think, sooner than you think, you'll be able to speak English without translating from Korean. Okay, so that's my tip for you today. I hope it helps. All right, everybody, let me know in the comments if it helps. Let me know if you tried it. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.